I'm going to replace the battery in this remote, which belongs to a 2012 Mazda 3. And I'm going to open this remote and replace the battery. And you can see the battery is really weak. It doesn't light up the LED. The LED is supposed to light up. And this is a good one with a new battery, and it's working. It's got a bright LED display. And I'm going to open this one. I'm going to open this remote and take out the battery. So the way to open this is flip open the key, and inside here there's a slot there for the, actually it's kind of hard. I have to push the screwdriver in that spot. Okay, let me just show it. This is a Phillips head, a Phillips screwdriver. What I'm going to do is to push this in here. There's a spot. When I remove this top portion, the key portion, you will understand what I was doing here. You have to hold the bottom part of this remote and push it with this Phillips screwdriver, and it comes out. What I was doing is I was pushing it here. See this thing? It catches on to this part of catches on to a notch in the remote. And then after removing the key, I have to open this part. This is a cover, and this is the button with all the circuitry on this side, and this part is just the cover. So what I'm going to do now, I use a flat head. Is turn it downwards with this button downwards and push the screwdriver above the circuit board and the membrane. There's a membrane on the circuit board. Push it in there and pry it. Okay, and this part will separate out. Okay, there we go. So this is where I was putting the screwdriver. So you don't push it in here, you'll cut the membrane. So the battery is in here. And this is the circuit board with the button on the other side. I don't need to touch that. Let me take out this remote, this button, battery, I need to take it out. I think this is the best way to take it. Okay, it came out. What is the battery here? Let me check. 16, what does it say? 1620. It's actually 1620. See that? 1620 is down here. 1620. There. 1620. So that is 16 millimeter in diameter and 2.0 millimeter in thickness. Okay, so I'm going to replace this battery with 1632, which is a little bit thicker battery, 1632. So that one is 20, which is 2.0 millimeter thickness. This one is 3.2 millimeter thickness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to force this into here. So in order for that to go in, I have to modify this thing and cut off this little, what do you call this thing here? I don't know what you call this. This support here. This thing is like a filler this plastic here, the circular little plastic, it pushed the battery up a little bit. So I'm going to use this knife. So I'm going to cut this a little bit at a time. And you have to cut it all the way down. See how it's cutting? In spite of a sharp knife, it's kind of hard. You can use some tool, power tool to cut it, but I won't do that because I might slip and damage the rest of the remote. So I'm going to do it slowly. It might take a few minutes. Okay, so I have to cut this all the way down. Let me clean up a little bit more. See here. Okay, it's not as smooth as it used to be because while in this process of cutting it, I got it a bit scratched. First of all, let's check the battery. And this is the new one. It should show me 3 volts. See there? 3.0. 3.0. And the old one was way down. 2.8. 2.8182. So I'm going to put the new one in there. You see how much I cut it down? This circular support here used to be a lot higher. I cut it down and it's almost to the side of the space here. Okay, let me install this battery. And let me put this buttons back in here. And this just snapped together. Okay. And you know it is okay because the LED didn't light up. If I didn't cut enough, this LED will light up because the battery is pushing up against the board and that board is pushing the button towards this casing. And it will be depressed all the time, and the LED will light up. Right now it is not lighting up, which means I've cut it enough. Okay, let's test it out. Okay, that's good. It's working now. See there? See how bright it is. So I've modified the remote to use a thicker battery. This is the thin one that came out of it. Thanks for watching.